Welcome to Fantasy Football by Committee. The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Number 2 most trending player. This makes a lot of sense. Obviously, I'm sure he was unowned, roughly. Ty Chandler. We saw Cam Akers go down. So Alexander Mattson took full control of the backfield. Some people who had the roster flexibility on their bench picked up Ty Chandler as a handcuff to Mattison before this past week, just to say, if Mattison goes down, then Chandler should be the next guy up. That's exactly what happened. Alexander Mattson leaves the game with a concussion. And Ty Chandler, second-year guy out of North Carolina, 15 carries. He didn't do much with them. The matchup wasn't great. New Orleans is pretty good up front. But 15 carries, 43 yards, or 45 yards, with a touchdown. I don't think the Vikings are going to go out and get anybody else. And I say that to say, if Mattison misses this week, which, it feels like when players are getting a concussion this year, that protocol is taking a little more than a week to get through, which I think is a good thing. It's taking a little bit longer this year compared to some other years. So Mattison certainly could be out this week, and Ty Chandler would get to play the Broncos, which is awesome. Like, the Broncos obviously have been beaten on the ground time and time again this season. And Ty Chandler, they're going to activate somebody else and maybe somebody eats into the snaps a little bit. But he dominated. Like, 15 carries, that's a lot. He got a touchdown. That's great to see. He's not the biggest guy, but he still scored a touchdown. Like, I like it all. Is this more than a 1 week answer for you? Probably not. But he does have the Broncos. He has the Bears, then a bye week. That's important. That's really important, because if Mattison's not 100% going into week 12, like, the Vikings get to play the Bears and then have a bye week. So there is a chance that you do get 2 weeks of Ty Chandler because of the way the Vikings schedule works out there. And that would be fantastic at this point in the season. If you can pick up a starter at the running back position, not just a starter, but someone dominating snaps at this point in the season, that's massive. So if I'm looking at Noah Brown and I'm looking at Ty Chandler on the waiver wire, to me, Ty Chandler is pretty clearly the guy I would rather pick up. Now, you may be fine at running back and you're desperate at wide receiver, obviously case-by-case basis, but talk about trade deadline. You might be able to pick up Ty Chandler and flip him immediately for something relatively valuable, pair him with one of your players and upgrade that player. Ty Chandler could certainly be someone you could pick up and immediately trade. However, like I said, if you get 2 weeks of starting out of Ty Chandler, and those 2 weeks are against the Broncos and the Bears have been pretty good against the run, I admit that, but there's no doubt the Vikings should be in scoring position relatively often against the Bears, so, which is great. All you need is a touchdown, as Ty Chandler showed last week. Hey, like, he's my number 1 pickup. I don't know about you. Positional need aside, he's my number 1 pickup, and that's over the number 3 running back who I talked about last week, number 3 player I got shit for, Keaton Mitchell. I'd rather pick up Ty Chandler right now, I'll tell you that much. But we'll get to him in a second.